if you take care of yourself and you look like you have money or whatever they like to think, then you must be from the US or from the UK. You know, you can't be from Africa. If you don't like pasta, if you don't like pizza, you're not gonna survive, because those are literally the things that everybody eats every single day. So yeah, I was just like, whoa. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Rachel and I hope you guys are doing well. So today's video, I'm gonna be just talking about moving abroad, moving to Europe, moving to Italy. A lot of you guys have asked me questions, so I was like, let me just do a separate video. So in this video, I'm just gonna briefly talk about stuff like racism, the cultural shock that I've experienced, the language, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, then please keep on watching. So one of the things that I just want to get out of the way and nip in the bud is just the question of, is it hard to move abroad, especially if you go alone? I really can't answer this question because I didn't move alone, so I don't really have all the details or the experiences to really give you guys an informed answer, because I moved with my family, so it's just a different experience for me. So I can't really answer that, but there are stuff that are just universal, stuff that we're all gonna experience, especially as Black people, and that leads me on to just talking about racism in Italy. So to be honest, growing up and majority of my life, I haven't been one of those people that experienced racism firsthand. It would always just be weird stares or just, you know, just small stuff like that. But moving here has just like opened my eyes to just how people think of Black people. For me, I haven't really experienced it that much here, and I'll tell you guys a reason. Because people here assume if you dress really nicely and if you take care of yourself and you look like you have money or whatever they like to think, then you must be from the US or from the UK. You know, you can't be from Africa. So the minute that they think that you're from America, they're gonna treat you like, you know, oh, you're cool. You know, they're gonna give you a little bit of respect because they have this fascination when it comes to American stuff. So people would be like, oh, are you American? Or are you from the UK? Small stuff like that actually make people think that, you know, you're not as bad because you're not from Africa. You're not as dirty, or you're not as lazy or as stupid because you come from the US and stuff like that, which is really sad, because you don't have to be from the US, from the UK to dress nicely or have money or whatever the case is. I know a lot of African people that have more money than all these people that are talking nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, this is just nonsense. I feel like racism is never gonna end, and we're just gonna have to get used to it. Like, just stay in your lane, just do your thing and just enjoy life, because if you're gonna focus so much on it, you're not gonna have a great experience in Europe, and it's gonna be one of the things that are gonna make you not want to travel, which would suck. So if I go on the bus, for example, can I just say, the transport system here is really good. It's so comfortable. You don't have to worry about too much, and it's really cheap as well. I pay like €1.50 for one ticket, and usually I just need two, and that lasts you for a long time as well, so I like that. But like I was saying before, I can go on the bus and the way people will look at me, like, it's like as an alien just entered the bus. Like, it's crazy. Like, the minute that they see, oh, she's got an iPhone, you know, she kind of looks proper, then okay, she's from the US, but we're still gonna stare at her because what is she doing here? You know, like, some people really have bad stares. Like, they don't even want to sit next to you. Let's say the bus is full and there's an open seat next to you. Some people would rather stand because they don't want to sit next to you. Other people are more they're more okay, even though they're a little bit uncomfortable. They are more open to just, you know, interacting with Black people or just people that are not Italian, because I've noticed Italians are not necessarily racist. Well, maybe the older generation, but the younger generation, they're not necessarily racist. They just come across very territorial and very like nationalist. Like, they want everything to be just Italian, and because there are a lot of immigrants that enter this country, a lot of people just feel so fed up with just having all these poor African people, and it is mostly African people that come here. So yeah, I haven't really experienced it firsthand, but I have noticed that if you go in a mall, for example, oh my gosh, people are gonna stare at you like, where did you get the money from? Like, how can you afford to enter the store? Like, like what? So yeah, when it comes to the language, everything is in Italian. The TV shows, literally like Catfish, for example, everything is translated to Italian. Every single thing is in Italian, so you're gonna have to learn the language. If you're not someone who's into learning languages, that's gonna be a little bit hard for you, because then you're not gonna be able to talk to anybody unless you go to the touristy kind of areas, the more international places like Milan, where, you know, people really do try to speak English because they know that you're a tourist and stuff like that. But if you're planning on staying, for example, in Rome, you're gonna have to learn the language, because people are gonna speak to you in Italian and you're gonna be like, what? It's crazy. Like, you're gonna have to learn the language. Like, that's so important. And I know, like, I kind of painted a negative picture of Italy. I promise it's not that bad. I was just talking about like racism and stuff like that. But on the more positive side, when you look at just the social aspect of Italy, it's so amazing. I mean, you literally every single day you can never get bored. Like, you have San Pietro, you have, you know, the Colosseum, you have all these things that you can go to and just walk and just take pictures and just always live a tourist kind of lifestyle, because you never get bored. Like, you never get tired of seeing new places, because there's always something to discover, which is what I really like about the culture here. People love to walk, people love to socialize. They don't like being they don't like being indoors, because I don't know why, but they like to walk, they like to just interact, and they like to just go to places like this. It's always packed all the time. Like, literally the center of Rome, like if you go to the Colosseum or if you go to St. Peter, places like this are forever packed, because there are always tourists that want to check it out. So it's really nice to just have that, you know, excitement every day. That's just really what I like about that aspect of staying here. Moving on to cultural shock, there's so many things that I was just like, oh my goodness, what? One of the things is just food. The food here is so different from back home. Like, all they eat is pasta, pizza, and just veg. They barely eat meat, and that's why Italy is like one of the most healthiest countries, because they literally don't eat all these junk stuff like sweets. They rarely eat that. So it's like, if you don't like pasta, if you don't like pizza, you're not gonna survive, because those are literally the things that everybody eats every single day. So yeah, I was just like, whoa. Like, I love my meat, even though I don't eat it that much anymore, but stuff like that got me like, whoa, like what? You know, we're so used to like steak and ribs and all of these things, and here it's just like pasta with tomato sauce. Yeah, the great thing about the food here is that it's really cheap. That's what I love about Italy. Yeah, so you can really take yourself out almost every other day, and you're not gonna feel your pockets complaining too much. You're gonna have a great time going out. It's not that expensive compared to back home, where, you know, you have to budget, because like your meal can come up to like 300 rand or something. So yeah, another thing that I've noticed Italians like to do that I just found so weird is just that they love coffee. They love coffee, they love just croissants. They eat them a lot, actually. Like if you go out and you haven't had breakfast, the first place they're gonna go to is a cafe bar, and there they're just gonna get some coffee and a croissant, and they're good to go. They like pastries, especially in the morning. So I was like, I mean, I don't mind, because I love croissant and I love coffee sometimes. So I was like, well, I'm definitely ready for this. Like, now I'm always just having coffee and having croissants. So it's something that you get used to, and something that is just so different but cool at the same time. Another thing is that people love to shop. Like, there's a culture of shopping in Italy. Like, literally all the shops are out, like, how do I explain it? All the shops are like on the roads, like in the street. They don't have like malls that much where you go in. Of course they do, but they don't really focus on that. For them, it's more like having just shops out in the open, and just enter and you shop a lot. People are really into fashion. which is really cool because you get inspired a lot and you see different people wearing different stuff on the street. So you already know how you want to look the next weekend and stuff like that. So yeah, people love to shop here. Italians love fashion. I'm sure you guys already know this. They love fashion, they love to look good, and they like to spend their money on clothes and shoes and bags. And I just also want to talk about visas and stuff. I do know that for me it wasn't really hard because my stepdad is Italian, so that made it easier for me to get papers. But I do think if you want to live in Italy and just really have an awesome experience, I think it's important to come here as a student. That way you can get a student visa, and that just makes it easier for you. And the cool thing about having a visa is that, you know, the Schengen area, which is just the European countries like France and all these other places, you get to travel there without having to like worry about papers. There is no border, so it's like so cool that you don't have to always try get visas and stuff like that to go to other countries. So that was really nice. I did get my papers really quickly because of course my stepdad is Italian and my mom has her ID. So because I'm her kid, like they are really about family and they want to give families the opportunity to be together. So yeah, if you are planning on maybe coming to Italy, or I would say come here to study and then see how you like this place, and then hopefully you can get papers to live here permanently. Maybe you'll be working, I don't know, but yeah, it wasn't hard for me to get my visas because of that. But I do know a lot of people, especially immigrants, find it really hard to get their papers because, you know, they're not working. And one thing that like the Italian government wants for people that want to get papers is to go to an Italian school, because they don't want these people to be just a liability where they don't know the language, they can't integrate. So there are a lot of Italian schools for people that want papers, because they want them to speak, you know, the language and hopefully find a job if that's possible. So that's really nice, and I just like how the government is really nice in giving people housing, and just they don't want anyone on the street. So it's really nice that they care about the social stuff that affect a country. So yeah, that's really just what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I did go just briefly on topics like that. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. And of course, don't forget to like this video if you did, and subscribe as well so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Ciao!